live, monkey. It's happening. It's happening. Yeah. Is it happening? I think it is. Bing. Maybe not. I don't know. We keep scratching your head. Keep scratching your head until it does. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Houston with a Problem. Hopefully, I have an hour, and I have an hour's worth of voice. I got hit with the itis this weekend. Remained a little low key for the entire weekend, and I feel like I'm on the other side of it, purging stage. But a lot going on. Hurricane Helene smashed into Big Bend in Florida. Did all the damage we said it was going to do. I hope a lot of people got out of there. And then went up into the Southern Appalachian Mountains and did some of the worst damage ever seen in that region. We're talking breaking over 100-year-old record for floods by several feet, wiping out entire towns. We have no idea about the number of dead and missing, but it's probably a lot. The damage is probably in the tens of billions, if not more. And there's another storm building up right in the Gulf of Mexico that may hit in the exact same spot. I've not done an update on that storm yet, so let me look at the National Hurricane Center here. Yes, so there's a disturbance right off of Panama. It's got 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours, but it's kind of expected to be. And the GFS models, they're not showing at all what I want you to show. I want you to show this. Bing. This guy right here. The current GFS models have it turning into a hurricane passing between Yucatan and Cuba, and then smashing basically into the same spot all over again by next week. So, yeah, so we could be looking at all over again. It's gnarly. The National Guard, charities, red... Oh, crap. I didn't mean to do that yet. I think it's really interesting. I'm a mess. Always a mess. Okay. It's an accident intro, but I need to do intro eventually, so that's what we get. Okay. Tons of aid workers, National Guard, all sorts of folks currently trying to get aid to the survivors, get infrastructure passable. We're talking like every major highway in and out of the Blue Ridge Mountains is gone. So the only way in or out of these places is with the most badass four-wheel drives you've ever seen in your entire life, or helicopters. So just keep everybody in your thoughts on that sucker. It's going to be a grim couple of weeks for people there, especially if they get hit with another one of these. Because if you weren't able to evacuate the first time around, what are you going to do with the second time around if you hit with another major storm? Okay. GameStop had a little pump today. It touched, I think, $23.58. I think at one point today, finished just below $23. I think that was our little gamma push from going in the money on Friday. Now, if we're lucky, we get some gamma ramping, because I think Max Payne is at $20.50, and so we're at one point we're $3 over that today. I have been playing the options, the puts and calls up and down since last week, and I'm doing all right on that. I want a little more volatility because that will go a little faster for me. And I'm already getting monkey treat thing. Avids super chat. Why are you thinking next hydrocarbon, MMT oil, and quartzite? Are you asking about the next bridge filing against TradeStation for information? Is that what you're asking about? I think TradeStation agreed to provide them the information, if I remember correctly. I don't know if they've gone any further beyond that. Have they? Does anyone update me on that one? I don't know. I think they filed, and then they were going to have a hearing at the end of May, because they wanted information from TradeStation, and TradeStation, I think, gave them the information, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Karen Mirza, Monkey Treat. You want Kirkland? Costco brand nummies? Numbers? Yeah? There you go. Okay. That'll work. A monkey treat it is. Carpet Walnut, I thought you wore ugly shirts in the show. I wear nothing but fantastic shirts in the show. Look at this sucker. Got hot rods and little thatch huts and beaches and all sorts of things. It's like Cuba at night or something. Yeah. I think I'm still dying monkey. I think that's what's happening. What was the other thing? Oh, to remind you, tomorrow, I'm going to try and do a regular show tomorrow because I didn't get as many shows in last week as I probably should have. So I'll probably do a Tuesday show tomorrow. But tomorrow evening, come over to Raging Election. The link should be down there. I will be doing a live coverage of the debate, just like I did with the presidential debate, except that one wasn't live. But this one will be live. And, we'll make fun of everybody. We'll fact check them. We'll pause, talk about good moves, bad moves during the debate, etc. Probably make a lot of fun of JD Vance. So yeah, I will, when this show's done, I'll set up a link really quick for the debate, and that will be ready to go at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we will watch the debate between the vice presidential candidates and see just what they accomplish. So, yeah. Did I have anything else? Japan was having a little bit of meltdown again yesterday, especially with their banks, Nomura and Nordichunkin. Big drops. China has a problem because all their quant, computer, algo, hedge fund things were getting like trillions of dollars in margin calls. So, and then Japan called a snap election October 27th. They're having a new national election. So, things are looking spicy in the Far East there. And Monkey knows it. She's like, oh man, that could be a harbinger of things to come. So, looks like there can be a fight to keep the markets afloat for the next, 5 weeks to get everyone through this thing, through the major election. We'll see if they can do it. Looks like Warren Buffett has basically dumped all of his Bank of America. He may have a little bit left, but he's dumped like $17 billion in Bank of America. He's like, I'm out. I'm done. There's a guy, Travis, who's been uncovering their liabilities, and it looks like they owe so much more money than they have on the books. They've been trying to hide everything and really sketchy off-book ledger keeping. And, so that's what we got there. Avids, what's the latest update on Next Hydrocarbons? S1, 40 million shares. They did sell 40 million shares to a particular accredited investor. They have not announced who that is. And they've not done the S1 for their spin-off of their NewCo. Now, the NewCo, I don't think they can do until they file one more 10K, updated 10K. I think that's what we're waiting on there. Yeah. GDC, No Lab shareholder call last week. Oh, yeah. Sorry. You had messaged me to remind me. I have not heard the shareholder call. From your take on it, it sounded like they were perhaps not going to be filing for FDA approval this quarter, which ends today. So I haven't heard anything. Although their stock price did jump quite a bit recently. It hit 33 cents this morning, 34 cents this morning, and then bopped right back down again. So I'm going to have to get an update from Ron as to what he thinks is going to go on with that. Maybe I can invite him back onto the show again. See if he's interested. So I'm still hoping for this quarter, but from your take on the shareholder call, it sounded like they weren't going to be ready this quarter. So, right, dude? Come on, get back up here. Come on. Get back up here. Come on. You already got your treat. You don't have to stare at me anymore. Do I have anything else to add? Asia, GME. The countdown should have ended today. Anyone see anything from Countdown Man? Anything was happening with that? It counted down. And where's that dude? 1,000 quadrillion. He's still at 3 following. So he's not counted down any further. Interesting. The countdown doesn't really seem to be making any sense. Because he's still at 3. So he was at 8 last Monday. Was it 8? 9? Counted off down to 3 by Friday. And then nothing Friday, nothing Saturday, nothing Sunday, nothing today. So countdown thing isn't really counting down anymore. It was like 3 minutes to midnight. Is this what he's doing here? The doomsday clock? Huh. Interesting. So that's where we are on that one. Nothing too fancy coming out the countdown guy. I don't know if my voice is gonna last an hour, but we'll try. Let's just go to the chit chats here, because yeah. Your friend was first. Woo! GDC, happy birthday, HW. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Snurtlert, Oi Houston. Dig Dug Doink, upvoted. Dig Dug Doink, go Seahawks tonight. Go Seahawks. I chose poorly on my we have a problem fantasy league. 2 definite. Should have put the other tight end in. I would have just been crushing it. And should have put the other defense in. Would have been crushing it. Oh well. And the other kicker too. So 3. I guess I missed up three of those, and I would be absolutely whooping on my opponent this week. Instead, it's gonna be a nail biter. So hope for some good Monday night games. Tank Man is second. No, you weren't. Dig Dug Doink like pizza, Steve. Excellent. Cal Garibaldi, 8th. Just like I planned. Happy birthday, Houston. Cal Garibaldi, if the large companies like BlackRock or small family hedge funds also invest in GME, then we don't really change our social standing by having GME, right? Is this just a return of the middle class? Well, BlackRock invests in everything. BlackRock is a giant index. Them, Vanguard, State Street, they all own 5 to 7% of every single solitary company that trades that's public, like on Earth. I mean, their theory is that everything goes up over time, and that's it. So them having investment in GME doesn't mean anything, because they also have investments in absolute dogs of companies because they invest in everything. So, but GME's got piles of cash on hand. They're one of the wealthiest companies in the entire world at the moment. And you don't want to bet against that. Just if they just did nothing but had returns on investments they had, right? They didn't sell video games anymore. They'd be profitable and they'd be worth every penny. But so they got to do something in the video game market, I think, to see growth overall, and they have to make some sort of move, merger acquisition wise. And I think that it's in the process. We saw that S4 pop up last week randomly and then be an error code and then disappear. We've seen 2 different merger acquisition violation warning things from the SEC to Ryan Cohen. One was about his Wells Fargo purchase, and then there was a second one that came out on Friday, somewhere around there. I think it's because that they filed notice with the SEC that there's a merger acquisition going through. It's going to take 15 days, 2 weeks or whatever for them to get everything in a line to be able to get that merger acquisition approval done. So I think they've submitted their S4, but the S4 has not been approved yet and published. So we're still waiting on that. And a lot of folks are hoping it has to do with Bed Bath & Beyond, which would be fantastic. But until then, twiddle them thumbs. Or stroke the chins. I'm not really sure. Maybe twiddle and stroke like this. Yeah. Scott Pollen. Big shakeup in global markets. China is lowering percent-based incentive programs and encourage savings supporting their stock market via the banks. They also dumped hundreds of billions of dollars in their banks to keep them afloat because they don't have banking insurance, and people were losing their deposits like crazy, especially at smaller banks and the shadow banks all over the country. Oh, there's something else, Monkey. Oh, the dockworkers strike. That was the other thing. Negotiations are happening right now, hoping to avert the dockworkers strike. But as of midnight, if they don't have any negotiation, if the negotiations are successful and they don't have a contract in front of everybody, 84,000 longshoremen go on strike from Maine all the way down to Brownsville, Texas. Basically, the entire eastern seaboard, Florida, and the Gulf Coast. So, it's going to be... The last time we had dockworker strikes like this is when we saw inflation kick up. And it happened just a few years ago. It happened when the West Coast dockworkers went on strike. And it happened in the 1970s when the dockworkers went on strike then. So in order to keep the economy flowing, they're going to have to give in to the dockworkers. And one of the big complaints the dockworkers have is that there's a lot of automation going on that are removing the human element from the ports. Now, if you're a big company, you want to get rid of humans. You want to have everything automated. You don't have to worry about paying people or having them go on strike, blah, blah, blah. But as an economy, you need people employed. So perhaps find some sort of way to do it inefficiently efficient with human beings. I don't know. But so we could be looking at dockworker strike. That will put a big old dent into the Dow. And oh goodness, I do think my voice is going to fail before I get through an hour. This is the most talking I've done in 4 days. Okay. Takeman142, Jared Lang about to get balsed by a lot of upset people on Twitter. I think so. I mean, he hasn't updated his countdown at all, and we're trying to figure out what is going on. He's not responding to anybody. People are posting lots and lots of memes, GameStop related things, stuff like that under him. He's not responding to anybody. So, we'll see if he's just some stupid token. People are going to eat him alive. Zapdos shot the monkey butt, fat cat, and kitten. Let's see some cattail karaoke. I think the cat's outside right now because he has not eaten his food yet, so he must be outside because that boy eats his food if he's inside. Scott Paulin says, Kyle, GME and SP 500 is the goal. I think it should be in the S&P 500, personally. Let's look at the options chain real quick. Okay, so 20.5 is the max pain. Currently above that, we have about 5, 14,000 shares in the money. We touched the 23.5 today, which puts another 24,000 in there. So we're approaching 4 million shares in the money if we close above 23.5. But there's some significant holdings here. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the volume and not the open interest. I need to do math again in my head. 25, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so 18, and then we get 23.5. We had another 10 or so. So about 2.8 million shares in the money, and if we go up another $1.50, $2, we can put another 20 million shares in the money, which would be pretty fantastic. We'll have to see kind of what everything does. I think the floor right now has moved from 1920 to like 21, 22 is kind of the basement after the most recent share offering. So I think there's a lot of folks like me doing some day trading on these. You know, I started with I think 20.5s on Thursday, and now I've got 23s, and I've quintupled my money since Thursday. So I'm doing the options thing, see if I can build my way back up again. Being a little quicker on the day trading side of it, rather than holding out for like huge gains, like when we saw the massive volatility in May and June. I'm just going for basically 50 to 80% gains, and then quickly trading, and then buy puts, let it drop $1, go back in, write it back up again. Basically, that's what I've been doing all day. Where was I? Scott Pollan, that's one of the big and original swaps. It's still being rolled hedges. It's where GME is negative beta. Julius Miami, ByebyeBaby website is down. Really? ByebyeBaby.com. Huh. It is down. Store is unavailable. What can I do? Return to previous page. Take you back to Google. Interesting. Indeed. ¿Por qué? Why such a big website be down? Unless there's a plan going on. It's like middle of the day. Like, you don't bring a website like this down in the middle of the day. You bring a website like this down at 2 in the morning. Interesting. Interesting. Something afoot? Huh. Good eye there, Julius. Okay. Cook everyone chin stroke. Scott Pollan, so when GME joins the SPY, that swap is toast, and the person that pledged short GME versus long SPY is now stuck in doom loop. That is also a good point. Luger Speed, Bratia dismissed on Friday. Not entirely. Bratia's motion to become a class action lawsuit was denied. The case still exists, and the judge has mandated that they mediate, I think, until October 21st, and come up with some sort of settlement. If not, he's going to probably throw the case out, be my guess. So at this point, I don't think Ryan Cohen and company really have anything. I don't think they have to negotiate anything if they don't want to. So Bratia is probably going to have to come up with something to be like, please don't punish me. So, but that's still 3 weeks away or so until the judge will make a final ruling on that, unless some sort of deal gets struck before then. But it's not going to trial. The judge is going to toss this thing. He has no standing. Basically ruled that the squeeze made value calculations impossible to calculate. Therefore, you got no standing at this point. Let's do day trade this stuff. Scott Pollan, I'm fairly certain that's what the board is doing. They'll raise $15 billion, have the correct number of profitable quarters, and meet the thresholds for acceptance in the S&P 500. Very possible. Michael Steegs, Houston. If holders of a stock other than GME would be given GME stock, would this result in a higher or lower stock price for GME? So, if you're saying, if you were a holder in, say, Bed Bath & Beyond, and you receive GME stock for your Bed Bath shares, would that cause a higher or lower value? That would entirely depend upon what type of market cap bringing on board the former BBBY would result in. So if, say, you're bringing in $2, $3, $4, $5, $10 billion in Knowles, cool, right? Then that brings in a lot of value. If you've done some sort of weird squirrely deal where you purchased Baby out of bankruptcy and then merged it back in with the mothership again after you took control, then you got yourself, a company alone that's probably worth $1 to $2 billion in market cap right there. So you're increasing the market cap by a significant amount. Who knows what else is involved in there? So yeah, the stock price, I think, would probably remain the same, if not squeeze, as a result. Because remember, if at that point you were short on Bed Bath to the tune of 5 billion shares, and it for some reason went 1 for 1, I doubt it'd go for 1 for 1, but probably, if it went 1 for 1, then you're also now short on GameStop at 7 cents, right, on 5 billion shares. So you're gonna have to go find billions upon billions upon billions of shares of GameStop that don't exist, and that would force a squeeze right there. So I think, at least in the short term, the price would go, and a lot of money would be made. Okay. All right. Oh, there's the reset of the chat. I don't like the resets of the chat. Chris Taylor, hey, when downloading hell let loose at the moment, it's going to hold up to the hype. Downloading Hell Let Loose? Oh, Hell Let Loose. Is that a movie? Is that a game? I have no idea. I cannot tell you, but sure, it'll live up to the hype. Why not? I'll give you that assurance. And Ronald Houston. The last full Kmart store closed this month. What's new with Sears Holding? What was the last thing I saw of Sears Holding? It was that they canceled the sale of their real estate. So remember last year, the judge was like, hey, you have to sell off this like $8 billion in real estate. And they canceled that. Basically saying, we're good. So they have enough cash on hand to satisfy their creditors without having to liquidate all the real estate holdings. And they've got a lot of crazy real estate holdings. They've got warehouses, logistics networks, shopping malls, office space, factories. They have a lot. And so it looks like they don't have to liquidate anymore. So I don't know when Sears is going to pop loose from this thing. Do you? Do you have any idea, Monkey? No. You just be a cute dog. Okay. Corporate Walnut, make accounts GameStop again. Huge unit, bruh. Jason Blackwell, Houston. I found Michael's Island. Okay. Restated taverns cloying. Are you taking me to Schlong Island again? Is that where we're going? What? 3 words. And go bam. Restated taverns cloying. Mystery Island Tiki Bar. Oh, okay. Michael Mystery. Where are we? New massage. There's Mystery Island Tiki Bar. Right next to the runway strip here. Antietam Airport. Fresh Lobster. Mystery Island Cafe. Mystery Island Tours. Mystery Island Pier. Mystery Island is really, really tiny. Where is Mystery Island? It is off of... Is that Fiji? What island is this? Port Patrick? Oh, Vanuatu. Okay. Vanuatu. Fiji's over here. We're close. So, Mystery Island. Really? Looks like good snorkeling. Look at that. Look at the break out here, too. Got a whole bunch of surf breaks out here on the reef. Let's go Mystery Island. I can take that. It looks like it's like an upside down sperm whale. It's 50% runway. I guess you go play soccer on the runway or something. So we got cafe. We got fresh lobster, fresh coconuts. Really? You got fresh coconuts out here? You got a mystery pier. You got cafe. Looks like a whole little resort here. Yeah, massage, mystery tiki bar. Solar panels, so you don't have to like worry about anything else. Got a little track that goes all the way around the island, so you can, scoot around, do your scooting around thing. I go visit this place. Oh, shit, that's not what I wanted. Nope, I want. There we go. Okay. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Again, there's Mystery Island. We're off of Vanuatu, out here in the South Pacific. Fiji's there, New Caledonia, Vanuatu, and then this little guy right here. It's like upside down sperm whale. There's the head. There's the tail. Big old landing strip, just like your girlfriend. And yeah, it's a teeny little guy. Look at this guy. He's got a couple little huts, and it's like a little resort. Lots of great snorkeling. I mean, look at the reef here. It's just fantastic reef. Cool little channels on either side. Lots of good surf breaks all around. Wear a helmet and go surfing out here. There you go. Is that now you can see? Did that work? Okay. Scott Palmer speaks to Kmart. Huge unit. Happy birthday, Houston. Robert Mansoon. You guys, the Mariners missed the wild card by just that much. I know. Oh my gosh. Stupid Mariners. I had to look up how they're doing a doubleheader today. Mets and Mets game. Okay, so Braves are up on the Mets in the 8th. This is game 2 that they're up in, or game 1. Where what the heck? Oh, give me today's games. So Mets won the first one. Braves are winning the second one. If the Braves lose, I think that means Arizona's in. Is that correct? So if the Mets somehow win this one, I think Arizona goes in. So then Eugenio Suarez, who the Mariners should have kept, goes to playoffs with Diamondbacks, and the Mariners could definitely use his 100 RBIs this year, 30 home runs, and Gold Glove caliber defense at third base. If Mariners had Suarez this year, they would have won another 10 games easily. Sigh. All right. Wild card standings. It'll be wild card. So nope. Looks like looks like Diamondbacks are currently in. Whoa. So if the Braves lose, Diamondbacks are in. And if the Mets lose, Diamondbacks are in. I think that's what it is. Okay, so at the moment, Diamondbacks... Okay. So I think the Braves have to lose today, and Diamondbacks are in, so Eugenio Suarez and Diamondbacks go into the playoffs. All they do is keep Teoscar and Suarez, monkey, and the Mariners will be in the playoffs right now. But they couldn't do that. They had to get rid of him and get a whole bunch of more 200 hitting second basemen, and then miss the playoffs by a fucking game. Yeah, 1 game behind for making the playoffs. Anyway. Keith Chapman, I'm late to talk about Brattia getting boot. Brattia hasn't been given the full boot. He's been given the nudge. Because he got his class action motion denied. What we're looking for now is the total case to be just kicked to the curb and gone. The judge has given them 3 weeks to negotiate some sort of settlement deal, or else it's coming back to the court, where I think the court's going to toss it. Hey, fat guy, you're back. All right, the fat cat's here. Must have eaten his food. So yes, we're getting there. And my goodness, my voice is so sore. I hope I could do like a full 2 hours tomorrow with the debate. Big Zerp. Houston. Thoughts on high yield ETF Coney? Coney. Yeah. Well, let's see here. Coin Option Income Strategies ETF. Currently target price is what, $9? How this said here? 1 year return is 92% at the moment. That's pretty good. Pretty darn good indeed. Looks like it's dropped about 50 cents today. What's year date? Been as high as 29. So it must be giving huge dividends to have a 92% return in 1 year, to have the starting price at $29 to start the year. So looks like it's one of those ones that has lots of decay but gives you lots of dividends in the process. What is the dividend? Year to date daily return is 1.23%. Interesting. I have no idea what they're invested in. What makes it up? We can go Coney dividend. Dividend history, that's what we want. So it's doing $1 a month right now. It's did a little $2.70, $2.80 back in April. For the most part, you're going to be getting like $15 a year. It says $12.50, but since October last year, it's 1.2, 1.0, 2.4, 2.6, 1.0. Seems to be paying out pretty darn well. So is this is Coney all based in Bitcoins and stuff? What you chewing on? Oh, you can destroy. No, don't destroy the. Yeah, if you destroy that, then the cat can't play with it. You can destroy a tennis ball or a bone, but you can't destroy the cat toy because it's full of catnip that the cat needs, right? So, looks pretty meaty. Looks like a pretty good thing to invest in for now. If the coins collapse, well, probably not that great at that point. Well, you've gotten what you've gotten so far. Okay. Colin, thoughts on this Georgia Biolabs fire? It's a misnomer to call it Biolabs fire. What it is, it's a pool chemical plant. So basically, think chlorine, stuff like that. So the gases that came out of there are probably really gnarly, probably very similar to chlorine gases, mustard gas, things like that, like super toxic, will shock your lungs and you die instantly type gases. I would not want to be someone battling that blaze or anyone living downwind of it. The fire was eating monkey butt. Stop destroying the cat's toys. No, get it out of your... Look at this. Dog. No, it's not yours to destroy. It's the cat's toy, not yours. Okay? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Fire of the pool chemical factory. The rumor I heard was that there was a faulty sprinkler head that caused the fire. I'm not sure how that causes a fire. I can see a fire spreading as a result of a faulty sprinkler head. But you definitely do not want to live near a place that is, doing chlorine chemicals. That just seems like a horrible idea. If I knew that one of my neighbors was like a chlorine chemical plant, I would get the fuck out of here. So terrible. Absolutely. It's going to be just raining awfulness on people for a long time. You're going to have all sorts of respiratory issues, chemical burns, you name it, from the fallout of that stuff. I don't think you want to be anywhere on it, near it. It's bad. It's very bad. And if Georgia isn't already dealing with enough with the Appalachian part of the state absolutely drowning, having a giant chemical fire on top of that is also terrible. Just Miami hurricane party at my place. Bring your own beer. Okay. Mr. E-Machine, I watched the James Johnny documentary. Was surprised to not see you in there. What's holding us up? Apparently, I'm in there twice. I didn't last long enough. This voice is so pompous and annoying. Just like the worst British, you'd say public school accent in the UK, because public schools are actually private schools and private schools are actually public schools. I don't know. But regardless, the worst like British boarding school accent I've ever heard in my entire life, and I just can't listen to it. I made it like 8 minutes in. I was like, no, I don't care enough. But apparently I'm in there twice. I don't know if I'm talking at all. Someone said it's one of the scenes of me where I'm like on the couch at the Pulte thing where I just got to pee really bad and I just can't function. Michael David, so far 100 dead, 600 missing. That still seems like a bit of an underestimate to me. I think that number is going to grow even more as the fallout from Helene happens. Colin, costs had a bit of a spike this morning before settling down a bit too. It's looking like it's at a point where it could go any time now. I wish costs had an options chain at this point. I would be playing the heck out of it. But yeah, you're right. Howard Manson, we missed the best record in AL by 2.5 games. by the way, thanks for Stephen Vaught, our manager, who we got from y'all. Hopefully, not just a one-off year with our young team manager of the year. Who's your team? Where are we? What's going on? Standings. Who had the best record in baseball this year? Yankees, 94. Cleveland Guardians? 2 games back from that. Oh, Dodgers best record. And then Phillies? Phillies did really well this year. I think Phillies might be the ones to beat at this point. The Dodgers have one pitcher, Yamamoto, who's good. Everyone else is injured. So, well, Pete Rose just died. Julius said Dikembe Mutombo passed away, and now Pete Rose. 2 sides of the coin there. Dikembe Mutombo, one of the most loving and giving human beings who's ever walked on the face of the earth. Absolute treasure of a man. He is, when you come into great wealth, to me, that's who you should try to emulate. He spent his money on building hospitals, orphanages, schools, helping his community, his impoverished community in the Congo, by trying to take what he had and doing good works for his people. He passed away from, I think it was brain cancer today. Now, Pete Rose passed away. Pete Rose, hard-nosed, competitive monster, but also a gambling addict and kind of an asshole. So, yeah, oh, goodness, Pete Rose. Never got into the MLB Hall because of his gambling scandals. Pete Rose. Dead at 83. He passed away earlier today. So, interesting. Think he'll ever get... Well, he won't be able to argue his case now. Huh. Interesting. Well, opposite sides of the coin. Both fantastic athletes, were among the best at what they did. One guy gave his all to people. One guy just kind of was a selfish prick. But, who are we to judge? Aaron Santé in Houston found out that the Green Party is running local off seats in Texas. Finally, they're going to get off their asses and run more at the grassroots level? Maybe. We'll see. Unless they're just running them in competitive districts where Democrats would normally win. And then they're just being assholes. Swordfish, watch the show tomorrow, but fortunately it's one-sided. Well, I mean, you can watch it today and have it be one-sided, or tomorrow, or you can watch my debate show. Oh, it's definitely gonna be one-sided. You can guarantee it. It's if you're looking for an unbiased take on the debate, you're not gonna find it. You're gonna find me completely biased, and that's why you're gonna watch it. Because, come on, it's gonna be funny. And JD Vance is gonna get his claw cleaned because when pressed, he has the only emotional response is anger, and that's about it. He does not have the ability to flush out criticism. He just gets loud and angry. And whereas as Walls, he's much more cuddle bear. I mean, as what's her name? Her last name's Houston, so that's why I pay attention to her. She's a comedian, and she was pointing out that like JD Vance was saying, this expensive child care. It could be solved by having the grandparents take care of the kids. And she was like, but JD, your mom's a crack addict. Like, you're going to have your crack addict mom take care of your kids? No. Sometimes you got crack addicts. You're a crack baby and you've got children of your own. You're going to have your crack mom take care of your kids for you. So, yeah. Regardless, it's going to be a fun debate. Matthew Jackson, what big bank is going under? Dario thinks one is toast. Well, Nomura and Nordichunkin in Japan, probably toast. In the U.S., Bank of America? Right now I'm saying Bank of America, Citigroup number 2, Wells Fargo number 3. I think those are the 3 in worse shape commercial banks that we have. But Bank of America, I think by far, is the one that's doomed the most. Julia says, Michael Dell unloading $1.2 billion in Dell stock means crash incoming any day now. Michael Dell has a history of offloading his company's shares just before things get hairy, that's for sure. Kevin, conservatives can't decide between climate change denialism and blaming Democrats for the hurricane. I like the people that are like, weather machines are controlling the weather. Yeah, it's called greenhouse gases, dipshit. Like, you know, why is weather changing? Because we are changing the climate by pumping so much greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that the atmosphere is fundamentally changing. And it's warming and able to retain way more moisture. If you're not under a heat dome, you're likely flooding. And that's basically the 2 options we have for the rest of our existence until we all just wash into the ocean, being pummeled to pieces by pieces of detritus and debris. So, yeah. Is the ByebyeBaby website still down? ByebyeBaby.com. Still down. Okay. Seagill bought a couple more UVIX calls, expecting volatility if the eastern ports close. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Right, Monkey? Not such a bad idea. It's a pretty good idea. Yeah. I think they will close. I don't think they'll come to a deal tonight. Not for lack of trying, but I think they won't. Did Bass. Anyway, can we get more informal settings for this upcoming debate? Podiums are too stuffy. Maybe couches instead? Just 2 guys on a couch shooting the shit. Olga Natwatsky, Houston. It was me who said they would file. I misheard it. They were in pre-submission by the end of fiscal 2024, but the call was about shorting naked short selling. Ah, okay. Corb Walnut. Monkey Butt is like, oh god, he's going to talk to the wall again. I know, seriously, dude. That's all I do. I talk to the wall, and it's been years now, and you still don't have any idea what I'm doing. Swordfish thinks it's for crypto coin. The countdown from what's his butt? Jared Lang. GDC, I like the idea of No Live taking on a partner. Ron talked a lot about that in the call. Luke Alexander, Houston. So is the Bratia case done and ByebyeBaby can start going forward now? The Bratia case is still technically open. They have to come to some sort of settlement or agreement by 21st, or else the judge is going to make one for them, I think. Turkish, my thumbs are gone. My hands are gone down the wrists. My elbows are gone from extreme twiddling. Just shoulder wiggling now. Ghost host, I'll be evacuating for the next storm. The damage tree-wielding spin storm can do is terrifying. It's crazy how some people just slept through it. When we get windstorms here in the Northwest, they are epic. The equivalent of like Category 3 hurricanes. They don't bring the same type of storm surge with them, but the wind and the rain for sure. And I can't sleep through them because I'm just watching everything. You know, any moment a tree can come crashing through the house. They're terrifying. Yeah. I guess you just go into your bathtub, put a mattress over yourself, and just take a nice long nap, and you'll be good to go. Elaine Duncan. Well, I actually noticed you when you live, not 19 hours later. Nice. Welcome, Elaine. My voice is about to fall out of my head. Zio God, dude with nub. So China diluted the value of their currency to bail in their banks. Hot potato passed again. Yep. E-Machine. Also, for IEP dividends, make sure to check your accounts to make sure those are set to be reinvested if you want that to occur. I was checking my Fidelity account yesterday, and they weren't on reinvest. Yes, you want on reinvest, you don't have to pay taxes and stuff like that. Keep it going. there goes the reset of the chat. Oh, my throat is so dry. Chris R. hoping get BBBY and Sears News sometime in the near future. Wouldn't that be great? GDC, the ByebyeBaby app is down too. Interesting. Both the website and the app are down? AKO. Houston, do you think it's a good time to buy puts on the S&P 500? Also, I'm new to options and cross-leveraging. Do you think it's a good idea to cross-leverage my GME shares? A lot of folks do their cross-leveraging by selling covered calls with their GME shares. So, price goes down, you just collect cash, right? The price goes up, you get cash for your shares, and you can reinvest in and do whatever you want. But you know, you can play. You can look up all the different options plays. You can do like a Condor and stuff like that, where you're selling covered calls and buying short term out of the monies, and you know, you can do all sorts of different plays you want in there. I am way more simple in that I don't do any of that. I just do straight degenerate gambling. It just takes it takes too long to figure stuff out. By the time you figure it out, like the price has changed already, and you have to like start all over again. I don't have the computers at my hand to do a lot of that. But you're such a cute little dog. Yeah. Basically, what I've been doing is when we have slow volatility like what we've been having, going from $19 up to 23 now, but generally it kind of does this little seesaw on its way up, right? It's like these like hooky-doo steps on its way up. And so I'll buy a call, it'll go up 75 cents or $1. I sell the call, buy a put, it drops 50 cents. I sell the put, buy a call, it goes up 75 cents or $1. I sell the call, buy a put, it drops 50 cents. And I just kind of ride that on its way up. So right at the moment, I'm sitting on 19 $23 calls. I started last week with, I think I had 5 $20.50 calls, and I worked my way up to 19 of the 23s, and quintupled my money in the time. So that's kind of how I do it. It's purely pattern recognition. And as long as I'm paying attention during the day, because sometimes I don't have the day to pay attention to things, then I just get out entirely. But if I have the ability to pay attention for the day, then I can be like, oh, it's up my $1, out. It's down my 50 cents, out, and so on. That's kind of how I do it on these like slower volatilities. Now, if we had the crazy volatility, like back in May or June, I'd be playing completely differently, where I'd be playing the overnights, because we get these huge gains overnight. Like, if this was the week of June 7th, right? Tonight would be going from $25 to like $35. So every single one of my options would be up $1,000, plus probably an extra $500 in premium. Sell the minute the market opens, buy as many puts at the money as humanly possible, and then the shorts just drive it down right at open. And so the price would drop $5, $10 at that open. You would triple your money right off the bat, maybe more. Sell those puts, go back into calls, and it climbs right back up again throughout the day. And it does another crazy overnight on Tuesday night, and you just do it all over again. That's what I was doing when on June 7th when we diluted, and I would have made so much money. But regardless, you know, if you treat it like a game and you aren't putting in, you know, like the dog's food money or your rent check or something, you can mess with it and sort of play around. And that's just kind of what I do. Chris Taylor, Giuliano's daughter endorsed Harris. Lol, what's up? With Israel invading Lebanon, will market react? Thanks. Oh yeah, Israel apparently has invaded Lebanon, but there's not too much news coming out because they've apparently taken over every news agency in the country. Israel's gone full bore. They assassinated Nasrallah with a bunker busting bomb, and then Hezbollah announced the successor, and they assassinated him 5 minutes later. I think they assassinated the third successor now. I don't think there's anybody left who's high-ranking enough in Hezbollah to run anything. Anyone who had knowledge or power is blinded, dickless, fingerless, or dead at this point. Because if you didn't have one of those pagers, you weren't in the know and you have no idea what's going on. No one trusted you with information. So I'm not really sure what Israel is hoping to accomplish with invading southern Lebanon at this point, because I just don't think there's many people left on Hezbollah's part. I do wonder what the people of Lebanon, what their response is going to be, not having to deal with Hezbollah in their parliament anymore. There should be. I'm very curious. I don't know anybody who's Lebanese to get an opinion from them. So, but while Israel was hitting Lebanon, they were also hitting the Houthis in Yemen. Also, mysteriously, a helicopter carrying Houthis in Iran, as well as a bunch of Republican Guard commanders, crashed again. It's pretty wild times, monkey. Pretty wild times indeed. Your dog. Derek Coles needs some crumbs. Oh, I would love some crumbs. If there's any cases, go Lions. Go Seahawks. I'm saying Seahawks 24, Lions 17. Final score. Stupid asshole. So many plot holes in GME and ByebyeBaby docs. We'll love to see an analyst poking holes in them. Well, it's interesting, like the documentaries that came out about GME squeeze, right? They made it all about like that leading up to January 2021, and then never mentioned anything after that, even though they came out months or years later. And like, there's been squeezes almost that price point several times since then. Like every few months, it was squeezing up to hundreds of dollars. They never mention it. They never mention that the stock never closed. The ByebyeBaby little asshole documentary never mentions the fact that Ryan Cohen bid $400 million in the company after he sold off his shares. So like there's a lot of holes in this that they just aren't covering, and then they can't cover them because if they did, it wouldn't be what their job is, which is, either A, look at these people, they got lucky once, don't have to expect that again, and B, look at these people, they're so stupid. They bought stock in a bankrupt company. Idiots, right? Not showing that people who have bought stocks in bankrupt companies have made piles of money when they've reemerged from bankruptcy before. So, you got Hertz, American Airlines, Washington Mutual, etc. All of those companies have gone from pennies to tens of dollars a share or more, with a lot of times cash payouts on top of that. So there's a lot to be said about investing in bankrupt companies. And there's a lot more bankrupt companies you invested in and nothing ever came from it. Your Blockbusters, etc. But it's a gamble. That's why we're here. We're degenerates, and that's what we're doing. CPS 1711. I don't get live shows much, but since I'm here now, you should have a show with Ace and talk about political polling. Not sure how two people could be looking at the same info and be so opposed. Who's Ace? I mean, we could look at the political polling right now. Let's look at the polling. 538 presidential polls. We got a minute, and then I gotta run away. Okay, so. Overall, polling-wise, Harris is up 48.5 to Trump's 45.7, so basically a 3-point spread nationally. The polls themselves, Harris up, 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 Harris up. So national polling, they even did a Harris-Vance. So if Trump were to drop out, and have Vance replace him, Harris would crush Vance. That's how disliked Vance. Vance is the least popular VP choice ever since polling was created. So basically everything for the last 12 days or so has Harris up nationally. Okay, let's look at the states. Pennsylvania. This Patriot polling has Harris down by 1 in Pennsylvania. And Trafalgar Group has Harris down by almost 3. So Pennsylvania could be getting spicy there with those two. Wisconsin, Harris up. General election, we just did general election ones. Texas, the gap is 5 points in Texas. Although all red is within 1 point in Texas. So he's running against Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is incredibly unpopular. People don't like him. He's an off-putting man. So there's a chance that a Dem gets elected to the Senate in Texas, which would be crazy. Florida, Harris is down by 4. But again, Florida's got weed and abortion on the ballot. So that could change turnout incredibly. Nebraska second, who cares about that? Minnesota, Harris is up. North Carolina, this is the first one I've seen in a while of Trump ahead in North Carolina. Interesting. This is not post Mark Robinson though going full on porn Nazi crazy. So we need to see North Carolina one since Mark Robinson went porno Nazi crazy. Wisconsin, Harris up. Ohio, Trump is up. This is post debate, so although this is Harris has closed the gap quite a bit because she was down by more than 10 previously. So looks like Trump has pissed off a lot of Ohio voters by sinking Springfield into hell. The New York Siena College, Michigan even, Harris up. This one has Trump up, and this one has Trump up. So that seems pretty split. Nevada, Harris is up in Nevada. She's going to win that one. And do we have any others that are new? These are all these are North Carolina pre Mark Robinson going nuts. Harris was up in almost all of these. So I do want to see North Carolina post Robinson going crazy. Anyway, I got to get running. I'm going to try to do a show tomorrow. If my voice is really crappy, I might not do one, and I'll just save it for the debate. But go over to the other channel. We'll do the debate there. We'll have some fun. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Right, Monkey? See you guys tomorrow? Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Let's just do the regular one because we did that before.